Hey, I'm Victor Margiotta, and this is the Community Show. Thanks so much for watching. My friend Terry Tartaglione has graciously decided to come on the show, and of course we're going to talk about family and community and a little bit about massage therapy and health and wellness. So, Tara, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Victor.
All right. So, to start off, how was your day today?
It was cold. It was wonderful. I had a great day today.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where do you work?
I work down in White Plains at a place called Farida Skincare Studio, who just started her own startup company about a year ago. And I work with other gals that I used to work with at the Red Door Spa.
Oh, nice. What happened to the Red Door Spa?
They rebranded and claimed bankruptcy.
Oh, okay.
So we regrouped and formed another business, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now you're the massage therapist.
I am
there.
the massage therapist there at Farida Skincare Studio with a new name named Tess.
Okay.
Most people know me as Tess down in White Plains. Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school with you, Victor.
Of course.
At Hendrick Hudson High School. Yeah. And for massage, I went to the Hudson Valley School of Massage Therapy.
Okay.
Yes.
How was that experience?
It was interesting. It wasn't your conventional college. I do have a 2-year degree and for travel and tourism that I achieved, when I was a kid. Yeah.
So, for me, I love to talk about family because I come from a big family, and it really is what you become is how you're raised. The influence of your parents, and and then of course the community. We grew up in a dead-end street, and my neighbors, the Logues and the Boyles, and we grew up together, and it was just such a great experience, and I truly love this area. I always hear people say, "Oh, I can't wait to move away from here," and I could never understand that. Here we are in the center of everything. You're an hour away from the city. You're 2 hours away from the mountains if you're into skiing.
Very true.
Or even just, going up there and hiking and biking and all that good stuff. So tell us about where you grew up.
I grew up in Peekskill, a.k.a. Cortland Manor.
Right.
Now it was Peekskill. And I moved from one end to the other when I was in about 12 and went from one junior high school to another Blue Mountain Middle School and then on to Hendrick Hudson.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Hendrick Hudson was great.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Some people have a not such great experience, but I think the area and the sense of togetherness really came through.
Yeah.
I'm still very good friends with a lot of older friends. They're basically family.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm still best friends with the kid I went to St. Patrick's with, Patrick Cawthorn. Hi, Pat. And we're still playing golf together. We still keep in touch.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I could never forget the first time we met. There was a back door to the school, and we had a nun as a first teacher. And I still, to this day, I can't remember her name. But, he came walking in, and from that day on, we laughed for 8 years.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah, and we're
nice.
still laughing. He's such a great guy. And now he's a grandfather. He's got 2 little kids, boy and a girl, yeah. And, it's such a great experience. Now, you had 2 kids. Talk a little bit.
I wish I was a grandmother, but millennials don't want to do that so quickly. Yes, I have 2 boys. My ex-husband, their father, who's also from the area, we decided to move up to Wappingers Falls and raise them up there, and had a wonderful experience.
Awesome.
And they were in sports as well, but they went soccer.
Okay.
They played a lot of soccer and golf as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's addicting. It's not an easy game. That's for sure.
I don't know if it's a sport or a skill, but that's.
Well, I figured out that these guys, in the 4 days that they play golf, walk about 28 miles.
Oh.
So on the 4th day, after already walking, you figure 21 miles, because it's usually a 7-mile course. You got to be in pretty good shape.
I guess so, yes.
And, to make those shots and to be...
Okay, it's a sport.
It's a sport, for sure. But
But it's something I didn't
couldn't get into.
could
Well, you know what it
couldn't
is.
do it.
90% of the pros all grew up on country clubs. You know what I
that's-
mean?
yeah.
Because how else can you get that much practice? You
Well,
know?
my older son's good friend was a junior pro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at Waikakill
Yeah, and where would he practice?
with my son.
Yeah.
They played, instead of going to camp, they went to the golf course.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, even Arnold Palmer, who was the son of a guy that worked on a golf course, you know, that's how he was able to play as much as he did.
Did not know
But-
that.
And I'm very upset that Lexi Thompson didn't win this weekend.
Oh, I don't
so-
know who that is, but I'm sorry too.
But Nellie Korda won, and
Oh.
she's #1 in the world.
Oh.
And you know, for me, I don't know. I just once I got into it, there was no looking back. I started playing with my father, and your father talked about playing with my dad.
My father played with your father, but
Mm-hmm.
my older son kind of restarted my father's
Yeah,
love for the
interest.
game. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
And yes, he's a good guy. My father's amazing. He's
Yeah.
a big part of the community.
Yes.
Everybody knows John T.
Of course. So talk about, you know, growing up your family.
Growing up, I have 3 sisters,
Yeah.
2 sisters, sorry. There's 5 of us.
Okay.
And we grew up and we just had the best time. You know, I was the middle child and typical, I guess I had a syndrome that I never knew about, but a lot of love. My mother and father raised us so wonderfully. I
Yeah.
only hope I did half the job with my boys because the love that they showed us and the tradition, the Italian tradition, and how it kind of was one
Yeah.
is just amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah,
That's
and my
awesome.
grandfather, both grandparents, we were lucky to have Sunday one grandmother and fathers, and like we just would go kind of every other weekend.
Yeah.
And my grandfather had these trains that were great, but they were my father's. I think he adopted the idea
Yeah,
of
the
making.
hobby.
Yes, yes. But he had the HO trains, and my father did the smaller trains, and it just became wonderful, like part of the Sunday that we would watch, eat, and then play with the trains and
Nice.
watch some slides of Italy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have home movies. You know, the place was renovated in '65,
Oh.
and they sent my grandfather down to Florida on vacation. So that's when they did it. They redid the whole restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, and we would always get together. They made home movies of it, and you would see the plane taking off from LaGuardia or JFK, wherever it was, and then they showed all the guys working and tearing the place down and then putting it back together.
Wow.
And then they showed the plane coming back in, and it was funny. He came through that door. And he was like, "Oh my God, it was beautiful."
Aw,
So, yeah,
that's
it was really
nice to
neat.
have that.
Yeah, so
that
I remember
footage.
them setting up the projector and putting up the screen, and we'd all sitting around and watch home movies. A lot of them were like the holidays, Christmas, and everybody ripping old presents. And
My grandfather had automatic thing,
Oh, yeah?
and it came
Yeah,
down.
oh, wow.
Yeah, his house was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, it came right out of the ceiling. They had a long couch, and at the end of the couch was where the controls,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would be like wee, and it would come down.
that's awesome.
And-
You know, and tradition is such a great part of life. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? To be able to pass down these traditions and to, you know, that feeling of belonging is so important, you know. And, you know, the holidays can be stressful. You know, I'm a little stressed out this year because we're not going to get to see everybody. You know, my parents are gone, and, you know, they were the glue of the family, and they would make sure everybody, if you didn't come Thanksgiving, you had to come Christmas, and it was, you know, either here or at the house. It was always easier here because of the cleanup, but, you know, now you don't have that, you know, you have to come anymore. Now but there's so many, you know, everybody's got their own kids now, and it's hard.
Must
you
have
know?
been a lot because you have a lot of.
Oh, yeah. We had, at one point, there was 36 of us just
Wow.
in the immediate. And we used to have cousins, but then we didn't have room for cousins. So,
That's a big crowd.
yeah. But then we got back to having cousins, which was nice, too.
That is
So,
nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. We're having Thanksgiving with some cousins,
Mm-hmm.
and then Christmas Eve. I'm not sure, And then Christmas, my sister's going to host it.
Oh, great.
Yeah, yeah. We're
Awesome.
going to try to keep the traditions that we've done
Yeah.
from year to year.
Awesome. So let's talk about the massage therapy.
Okay.
What are the benefits of it?
There's a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
It increases circulation to a few different of your systems, your circulatory and your lymphatic system, to say the least.
Yes.
It helps heal the healing process by decreasing inflammation on whatever inflammation we have, and we have
Yeah.
inflammation all over our
Right.
body. And it just, it just relaxes you, and it's good for your skin. It's good, all your systems.
Yes. Now, there are different types of massage therapy.
Modalities, yes.
Okay. So
There's
talk about that.
deep tissue. There's Tuina. There's shiatsu, acupuncture. Acupressure is shiatsu, actually. And there's cupping. There's just so many ways to get the circulation rolling. Nowadays they're using the CBD oil, and that's a big. It really helps relaxation.
Awesome. Now, how do you decide which modation you're going to use?
I have a consultation with my guests.
Right.
They're not clients. They are guests, just like you're at a restaurant.
Yes.
You having guests to your house.
Yeah.
I call them guests.
Yes.
And we talk, and we talk about how they use their body and how their everyday daily activities, and maybe you're working out, or maybe you just had surgery, or maybe something's going on, and then I develop a personalized session for each person. And if they wanted a deep tissue and they really shouldn't have that pressure, then we'll make that decision at the consultation.
Now, what about like muscle pulls and stuff like that? Is that anything you work with?
Of course, yeah, because those are overworked muscles, but
Right.
it's the other side of the body that the whole body works as a team. So if one side is not so strong, the other side is trying to be stronger, and you can create two injuries on each side of the body. Yeah. Yes. So you have to, again, that's why you have to go to school for 2 years to learn how to do it. So you're not just, you're using science. I don't know, you're consulting them in a correct way to, again, deliver the right massage.
Yeah. Now, we got through the pandemic here, thank God. Half of our business was takeout anyway, so it was kind of an easy transition. We wound up closing for a month because, the hysteria was just too much.
Yes.
And, my brother's daughters were a little nervous about, and the news didn't help, as far as scaring people. But, maybe rightly so, who knows? It's just tough that we don't just get the facts. We get a lot of opinions, and I know that's
It was
my
a frightening
opinion,
time.
but
It was a frightening time.
it was very frightening. And-
Nobody did anything like that.
No.
That was the first time anything like that had happened.
Yeah. Well, years ago you had a few bad flus and stuff like that. So talk about how you were bringing clients in during that time.
We are lucky because we had a studio situation. Each room was not a big spa, but it was small, and we were able to clean it down, sanitize it, not only clean it, but sanitize. And we still use the practices that we are supposed to use, because cleanliness is next to godliness, right? So we just make sure that, we sanitize it 15 minutes before we had to schedule a bigger little gap. And we took people's temperatures, and we also, I had everybody sign a COVID release form, so that in case there was something, that we could track it and make sure that we were part of the, cure, or like the less of the spread of it all. So, and we just, sanitized and sanitized some more, and then sanitized some more. I had to wear a mask and a shield. Now I wear a mask, but I'm actually 2 days out of having my booster, which if I look tired, that's why, it hurt, you know.
Well, with the holidays coming, it's a good idea.
Yes, yes, and it was time to do that.
Yeah.
So safety and, you know, just not so many people and 6 feet and all that. But, you know, gloves anymore, but still, you know.
With the sanitizer.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And I see you have some here too,
Yes,
so
we
this
got
is
it.
a good thing.
Yeah. You know, I think it was a very big learning experience. For one thing, you know, masks during flu season probably isn't a bad idea, you know. I mean, just the fact that the kids going to school, you know, that's the biggest spread of the flu and of the cold. And, you know, you know, if you're going to get people used to wearing masks, it's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So, talk about some of the things, you know, you instilled in your children growing up.
Well, my father told me, if at the end of the day you look in the mirror and you like what you see, you might not like what you see, but if you could live with yourself, the morals like
Yeah.
that. And that's just being a good person and knowing that you did everything you can do in that day and like yourself, like the reflection that you see.
Yeah.
So that was a big, you know, a big
Part of
message that both my ex-husband, their father,
Yeah.
we did the best we could, and I think we did a pretty good job
Yeah.
because they're both college graduates and they are married, and they met their wonderful others, and it took a village to raise them, and it was the village with all the same love.
Yeah.
That, you know, but good and honest and golden rule and all of that, because it really is important.
Yeah.
And knowing your intention, like
Yeah.
what is your intention for anything? Keeping it positive and doing the right thing.
Yeah. What do you think the toughest part was? You know, infants are tough because you're up all night with them. Toddlers, you know, they're always running around trying to keep up with them. Then you get the, you know, the middle-aged years and then the teenage years. What do you think were
Well,
the
you
toughest?
missed
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, go
Right
ahead.
after college, right after college, that in-between point, they didn't know, you know, it's a journey, so they
Yeah.
needed to find their path. And when they found their path, it was like home run, you know. But it was frustrating, and it was a tougher time. It was, you know, back 2009, like right after everything kind of happened. And, you know, the country was in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And work wasn't so available. But I think after post-college was not as easy as the terrible twos.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. But just being a parent it just doesn't end after they
No.
ever, and it's you have to, you know, it's family. It doesn't just go away because situations change or because you still love them. I love
course,
my boys. I love the men that they became, but it ain't over yet.
No.
So it's a work in progress,
Yeah.
as we all are.
You know, and like you said, people aren't having kids as young as they used to. A lot of them, you know, wait.
Yeah.
Because they have careers and
Yes.
they want to do things. So, you know, like you said, you're dying to be a grandma, but
I want them to, you know,
yeah, be ready for themselves.
have it for themselves. Exactly. Yes.
You know,
That'd be nice.
I'm blessed. You know, all my nieces and nephews are having kids now, and I'm very excited. My niece Gabrielle's going to bring Brody to Thanksgiving.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
And that's my brother Gerard's daughter.
Oh, okay,
so,
sure.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have fun. It's not going to be a big crowd, which is fine with me. You know, so now I'll be able to come out and relax, and you know, we don't have to be in the kitchen the whole time working, which is nice.
Last year we were in the garage. We had those garage.
Yeah.
We had a garage Christmas. Yes. Yes.
Where was that?
In my father's garage.
Yeah, with the trains.
Right near the trains,
Yeah.
though. Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Now, what are you doing for yourself as far as exercise and taking care of yourself?
I have Peloton.
Okay. So what are your workouts like?
Not long, really.
No.
I'm not the hardcore
Yeah.
worker. I'll do like a half hour and then cycling and then another half hour of, they have strength classes and stretch classes, whatever I feel like,
Yeah.
or nothing.
How important is stretching?
Stretching is very important. It's warming up your body before you start to work. You could strain a muscle, sprain a muscle, and it just warms your muscles up.
Yeah. I've been, we're talking about hobbies and trains, and, for me, it's working in the garden. And, I hate to see it come to an end. There was a couple of plants that were starting to flower again.
Oh.
And you really can't bring them in the house because the dirt's got bugs in it, and, then it'll just start dropping stuff on the floor. So I had to give it up. I wanted to bring the one plant in.
Inside?
But, yeah,
well, it's cold.
Yeah, it's pretty much over. So,
Oh.
but I did all right with the butternut squash, and I know your father loves the flowers. We were making the flowers.
Oh,
And,
yes, he spoke about. He loved
yeah,
it. Yes.
So. Now, who does all the cooking for Thanksgiving?
It's a combination of everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, our cousins. I don't know. It's in the works.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who's doing what.
Yeah.
I'll have my assignment before I know
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Probably next week. Well, this Saturday, and then we'll just all pitch in and have macaroni and antipasto and just everything, and football.
Yeah,
And football.
a lot of football.
A lot of football.
What is your specialty as far as cooking?
I like to make an apple pie for Thanksgiving. I like to make my the Sunday sauce with all the meat in it. Not the Barjol, but just the pork and veal and beef.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have the video on the train, and your son Nicholas, or your
My nephew. My nephew Nicholas.
he's going to get into videography.
He's so talented, and he is going to. Yes, we're going to see his name
Nice.
up in lights one day.
And you actually had a couple of videos on your father's trains.
Yes.
So talk about that.
Well, a long time ago, he started it on a. No, I'm sorry. Let me rewind. He got the idea from my grandfather, his father-in-law.
Yeah.
The trains were smaller, and the details just started. It started on a door, an old garage door, and now.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and now it had like a restaurant or every place that my family had gone to or involved with, like, was on it. He had a boat, so he made it. He made the Hudson River. He made a couple different boats, and but tiny, like
my
tiny
gosh.
out of anything. He could say, "Oh, this looks really good," and he could make like a satellite dish or something out of it, or like, "Wow, that looks really," and it's such a wonderful, wonderful like creator. My father is, and he's got Italy. He's got Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. He's got the Paradise Restaurant.
Right.
Yes,
Excellent.
and just 3D everything. Yes, and it's just amazing. So the door went to the side, like then had another addition. It's the size. It's his room. It's the size of the playroom, the basement.
Awesome.
Yes, but when the cat got on, it wasn't a good thing. It's like, get that cat off of the train.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like a big monster,
Yeah.
So so he's got all the things, and I think it's going up now, and it's just part of everything. It's everything that we've known, everyone we've known,
Oh my
every
gosh.
kind of, from his passion. It's his passion.
It's excellent to have a hobby. Like I said, for me, the gardening. This time of the year now, I have one of those wood-burning stoves, so I like to go out and, split wood and
Nice.
set it up and, get the fire going. And it's just a great feeling, that, not to take away from the fact that oil's going up, but, so I'll save a little money there. But what are some of the hobbies that you enjoy doing?
I love roller skating.
Okay.
Yes. I like to roller skate. I don't roller skate often, but like when I do, I like to go hiking. Anything outside, probably to create a balance in my life,
Yes.
because I'm inside so much in a dark environment, which is nice and cozy and mood setting, but I need to be out as well. We need to have that sun on us
yeah, there's no
with the
doubt.
sunblock, but we need to have it. So I more or less like to be out doing things. I don't like to make cookies. That's my sister's hobby. I don't like to sew, and I
No.
don't scrapbook. But my hobbies are more active than not.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was really into skiing for a long time.
Oh,
and
wow.
then, it's almost like work now. You get out there, you got to, carry the skis and walk around in those boots.
Sure,
and,
it's a lot.
it's a lot of work. But, if somebody wants to go, I'll go. But, it's still a lot of fun, when you finally get out there. But, and we are right here. It's like I said, 2 hours and you're in
There's
the
so
mountains.
many wonderful mountains
Oh
to
my
go
gosh.
to.
I couldn't get over how many were in Vermont. We went to Vermont one time. There's like 100 mountains in Vermont. It's and beautiful. They're all beautiful.
It's beautiful.
For sure.
And then when they're not skiing, I guess you could hike or they zip line now too,
Yeah,
right?
they're doing a lot of
Yes,
that. So,
yes.
Tara, thanks you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Victor.
It was a pleasure.
And again, it's like family here.
Yeah. That was, when we were talking to your father about community, and, this place really does, it's been here 74 years.
Can't believe it.
I know. And, people just feel comfortable here. They come, everybody knows each other. And it's just a great experience, the community. So, I'm Victor Margiotta. Thanks for watching.